Today's surgical positioning challenges are complex. They require precision to optimize surgical access while also ensuring both stability and safety. Patient handling and positioning methods impact the role and ergonomics of every caregiver in the room, requiring modification for every unique patient. IMT is proud to introduce our new Infinity platform to both our Hadron and Genesis positioning systems. The Infinity platform empowers surgical staff to fully customize their existing Hadron and Genesis positioning systems, enhancing their ability to achieve a wide range of positioning requirements based on procedure, while also adapting to their patient-specific anatomy. Both systems still provide our patented foam pad lift base, designed to easily move both pad and patient to positions like lithotomy. Our solutions were designed to facilitate highly reliable patient handling and positioning processes, with significantly less ergonomic effort and variance. They also optimize both anesthesia airway management safety and arm access required for safe care. Let's take a look at how we can help evolve your standard of patient care while at the same time improving the safety of everyone in your operating room. Thank you. Hey everyone, this is the Genesis system. I'm going to show you guys how to use it and do a brief walkthrough for you. First, you open the system up. Okay. Each system comes with an instruction for use form. So before we use this system, we want to make sure that we set it directly on a table that doesn't have anything underneath it, because we want to make sure that the friction strips are going to be engaged with the table to help hold that patient once we get them into position. Then what we'll do is we'll undo the chest strap that comes with every system, and then we'll open the system up like so. We'll remove the chest pad that will go across once we're finished. And then we'll set it over to the side, and here's the instructions for use for the product. Step 2, we want to strap the side down where the patient is going to load, just like so, and then lay that out. One of the improvements we made to the Genesis system, which makes it the Infinity system, is now we have the option of taking off the lower wings and adjusting them depending on how long the patient's arm is. So that way, if your patient's arms are hanging off or a little longer than the torso, then we'll be able to capture that when we are folding and supporting that arm once we move them into position. One of the most important things we need to remember when we're positioning people on this pad is that we do not have a draw sheet, because we have 100% pad to skin contact, because that's what holds your patients in place. The downside of that is we need to make sure that you get your patient in the right position as you're moving them over, and we'll demonstrate that just right now. But we want to make sure that their bottom is at the bottom of the pad, so that way when we move them to lithotomy, we'll be able to expose what we need to from the surgical perspective. Okay, come on over, sir. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Let me see. I'm going to have you actually move up just a bit, please. Perfect. All right, we'll put your pillow under. One of the benefits of having a movable pad is we can always position the pad and the patient close to us, especially when lithotomy is required, because all other systems tether to the end of the table and force one of two actions. They force staff to either have to lift and move that patient by hand and sheet to get them into position after induction, or anesthesia ends up having to reach to that patient in order to manage the airway. But here, we can manage the airway safely, and we can always control it. We can control everything from our machine. One of the benefits of the new Genesis pad is it allows us to move the lower wing down to accommodate patients with longer arms. And I will show you that process right now. So if you will hold his arm over here. So what we'll do is we'll expose the Velcro that's here. We will take it off, and then we will simply move it as far down as we need to accommodate the hand. And then all we'll do to tuck his arms at that point is have someone grab from the other side, make sure his hand's in the correct anatomic position here, and then drop the sheet. And that's all it takes. Before we get ready to move the patient after we've tucked the arms, remember we had tethered the pad to the table, so that way when they moved over onto the table, the pad wouldn't move. So now before we move, we're essentially going to untether that system, just like so. and put it here, and then we'll get ready to all move together. After we've undone the tethers that hold the system to the table, what we'll do is we'll all now get ready to lift and move the patient. We'll do it together as a team. Each handle has to be lifted together as a team. We'll have someone on the head. We'll have anesthesia managing the airway. She'll do the count. Since we have 8 handles, 2 handles will go to each person on the side. And then what we'll do is when she says it's time to go, we'll lift and slide into the position that's required for lithotomy.
On 1, 2, 3.
When we're finished moving the patient in the correct position for lithotomy and the arms are tucked, then what we're going to have to do is tether the system back down to the table with the bed rail. What we want to do is we want to go on this side of the retaining bolt that holds the rail on, so that way the structure holds the whole system into place if we're going to go head down. Once this system is tethered, if you have a wide BMI patient, what you can do, you can put a bariatric extender for a little extra arm support, or you can get an arm board and put it on and then fold it to the side to support those arms on your larger patients. When we put our chest pad and our chest strap on, it will actually lift the arms in the correct anatomic position. Now that we're finished tucking the arms and moving the patient down and securing the system back to the bed rail, now what we want to do is put the chest pad and the chest strap on. Let's go ahead and do that. When we're putting on the chest pad and the chest strap back through the rail and onto itself, lift the arms in the correct position so that lifts them up in the correct anatomic position needed for stability. Once we've secured the strap on to the chest pad, we want to make sure that we can get a few fingers in there so that way it's not too tight. He has good thoracic expansion, but we also, again, want to make sure the arms are in their correct anatomic position. After we position the patient, we've strapped him down, we've strapped the system to the table. Before we get ready to go into Trendelenburg or get ready to start the procedure, if we have a high BMI patient or a patient who has large breast tissue that we're worried about this strap pressure, especially when we go into Trendelenburg, we can augment some of that by providing a little extra stability with our Azul system. Our Azul system sits right on top here. It could actually move with the patient if you want to have it on before the whole process starts. You can do that. So what we'll do is we'll put the Azul on top of our headboard here, put it under his shoulders, put his head in there. We want to make sure that we have a little space here because all patients are going to move when we go to Trendelenburg because of skin and adipose elasticity. So all patients will move until they stop. And this is a natural movement and occurrence that happens with everyone. Once this system is in place, then what we'll do is we'll strap it down to the bed rail structure and hold the system down here. And then that's it. One of the benefits of the Azul is you can reuse it. You just clean it between patients. Our friction strips that hold the system in place are not Velcro. They actually have silver nitrate in them and they're high friction. So it all pairs together with each system so it will hold that patient in Trendelenburg. And the other benefit is this system allows the head to move naturally. So we're not putting something behind the neck or we're not keeping the neck from moving naturally. So when we go into positions, it won't crick the neck like that. When you combine the synergy of the friction pad underneath that he's on and this system that allows the head and neck to move naturally, we've got a higher degree of reliability as it relates to stability when we go into Trendelenburg. As you will see as we go to Trendelenburg, the combined synergy of our pad plus the natural movement is going to hold him in place with a higher degree of reliability. You're going to see that his shoulders get nowhere near this area that would increase the risk for brachial plexus injury. Now we're going to demonstrate our system over lifting and moving patients by hand and sheet and then rolling them back and forth to tuck the arms. Here we go. Roll that around the arms. Make sure that hands and arms are in the correct anatomic position. Perfect. All right. There we go. Now what we would do is untether the system because we're going to move it. Remember, we tethered it. It's in the instructions for use. And now we're all going to lift these handles together as a team approach. We never lift them singly. We have to lift them as a team on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And we've moved and simulated a patient moving into position for lithotomy. Now we'll put the chest pad and chest strap on. I'm going to secure the Azul into position. There we go. And we want to make sure that we can at least get 2 fingers in there. Pull a little tight, so that way we have good thoracic expansion and no pressure. And that's it. Unique challenges will always be a part of surgical care, and Infinitus Medical will continue to design products that allow you to provide your patients with the best possible solutions while bringing balance to caregiver safety. We pay attention to the details of surgical care so you don't have to. Please give us a call today. Thank you.